Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up
All that jam.
All That Jam, Quick Hit. Todd Clouser on working with Medeski Martin and Wood.
You've collaborated with so many people. I guess that's integral to what you do. How do you foster a sense of trust, openness, and creativity when working with other musicians?
Yeah, I think it's I think openness, like you said, is maybe the word. Just trying to be conscious of what can work for the other person too. In a musical sense, everybody, every musician. I mean, they're there to play music. That's like our dream. So you kind of try to consider what this person's voice is, what they might want to offer to the music, and let it go there, as opposed to having this like defined idea of what we want to accomplish, and giving them some role in that. It's like let them light it up.
Giving them the space is the trust.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and
There
that's, I
you
think,
go.
Medeski. That's why we've got to play with him a bunch too. It's like you let it go where he can take it, and that's exciting for us too. But if we tried to really rein it in and control it, I think that that would be a more temporary collaboration.
Right. I love the blues edge of the Ice House with you guys, and it's just I don't know. There isn't enough music like that in the world, and I think it's because a lot of people probably would listen to that and be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, that's a little grating there." I'm like, "That's what you want."
Right.
What role do you feel improvisation plays in your music, and how do you balance spontaneity with structure?
Yeah, I think a huge role. I think maybe that's the common thread between all the different musics that I like to play. It's more song projects, and I have projects that are, you know, more free jazz or purely improvised music. So yeah, I think it's essential, and it's what keeps the music feeling alive to me. It's what keeps a lot of these projects alive. I've been playing in bands with some of the same guys for 15 years, and how does that stay fun and interesting? And it's because we're reinterpreting, reinventing everything every night or every record that we make. So I wouldn't want to do it any other way, and if I tried to do it any other way, I might end up quitting.
I hear you. How do you navigate between the different genres to create what I would say was a cohesive sound with what you do?
Yeah, I think that's always been a challenge for me to talk about. I think it's something that happens naturally for me when I'm making music, whether it's writing or getting projects together with people. I've never really thought like, oh, let's make a rock band, or it's kind of a consequence of the personalities and where everybody's at that point in their life. So it's not necessarily conscious. That being said, I think there's fun. Like this being a Mexico City experiment record, it's like we wanted some sounds in there, and it's fun for me to grab from cumbia or grab from son jarocho, or and that's part of the reason for doing the record. So you can kind of grab from different places, but in the end, I never know what it's going to end up sounding like genre wise.
Okay, fair enough. Very nice. You do a trio thing with John Medeski and JT Bates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Live at Ice House. We'll get into a little bit about that, but let's start with playing in a trio as opposed to larger bands. How do
Yeah.
you approach that?
Um, I like both things. Something about that. There's some sort of magic about the trio. I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, three personalities. It's like you can't. Everybody has to be really in it at all times and really present, and everybody's personality is like essential to what's happening. Um, so it's fun for me, and in those guys, in that case with JT and John, they're both absolutely heroes to me. Um, and yeah, having that opportunity is just I wish it was something we could do more often, but everybody's super busy. So
Right, you have a history with all of Medeski and Martin Wood, kind of, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I used to take classes from them, and that's kind of how that started. And then I kind of became friends with Billy Martin first, and I would stay at his house when I was still living in Minneapolis, and then maybe in Mexico for a little bit. But and I would stay at his house when I went out to New York to do stuff. Then we kind of slowly became collaborators, and then all those guys wanted to. Billy and John, they loved coming down to Mexico to play and to check things out. So that's how that all started and really got going. And yeah, now it's surreal to me. I don't think about it a lot, but it's surreal to me that those guys have become friends and collaborators, because growing up there, I went to a lot of Medeski Martin and Wood shows and bought a lot of those records.
I love it. I love it. I've always been fascinated with the bands that are willing to go at it and be instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's a big ask, I think, from a lot of audiences, from a large portion of your potential audiences, I guess.
Yeah.
Something else I saw you with Medeski was a Love Electric, him sitting in with them, and I guess this has been a long going concern of yours.
Yeah. I Love Electric is still kind of my main thing. It's kind of a rocky band, maybe kind of jam, somewhere between rock and jazz and improv in that. And yeah, we did a lot of tours with that band, and it was an Argentine drummer, Non Hitch, for a long time, and a Mexican bass player, Ron Cruz. We all lived within a block of each other there in Mexico City. Up until the pandemic, we were on the road all the time, all over the world, wherever we could go and play. And Medeski became a collaborator who would come down to Mexico. And we had, really just incredible shows with John in Mexico City, playing in the City Theater in Mexico City. And all these things were an absolute dream. So, that was quite a run. And now, we have a little different format. It's still a trio, Love Electric, but a different drummer. Our previous drummer went to live in Patagonia, Argentina, way, way, way down there. So, so it's hard to make that work. But we've been back out on the road with the Love Electric, and I look forward to keeping that happening.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.